Hey, how's it going, Pixel pals? This is PanickedPixel. You can call me Christine. Yep, here we are again with another SADES headset review. With the amount of SADES headset reviews I have on this channel, I might as well be their official spokesperson or something. All kidding aside though, I was planning to do a review of a headset from another brand, but it just so happened that this arrived a lot earlier than the one I was initially planning to review. It's right there, which is why I'm pointing that way if you're wondering why I'm doing that. To make it up to you guys though, Gemini Doctor, who provided me this headset for review, has promised to give 10 of you a special promotion when buying this product over here. Details of that will be in the description below, so check that out if you're interested. But without further ado, let's get to the review. Ever since my very first SADES review, SADES has been doing a lot to push their products internationally and has continuously been updating their branding because of that. One of their most recent course of action is to update the SADES Night to the SADES Night Plus, which to me seems like a testament to that global push that they're going for. So when Gemini Doctor contacted me to review this product, I was curious to say the least, as a person who's reviewed tons of SADES products in the past. Looking on the outside, you can clearly tell that the box is meant to communicate some sort of premiumness, which is a lot different from the kinds of packaging that SADES had in the past. I appreciate this because it really shows that SADES is trying to keep up with the trends in the computer peripherals industry. This new design really reminds me of Logitech packaging, which is a good thing. Opening up the box is simple, and once you've done that, you are immediately greeted to the SADES Night Plus. I do have to note that although I do love the new box design, the headset doesn't seem very secure in it. The hinge for the box seems very loose, and the headset itself is not tied down to the plastic that holds it in. That's a bit worrying considering that when I held the box upright, the headset immediately fell out. I can only imagine what would happen if it so happened that the little plastic seal on the side was accidentally broken. Apart from the headset, you get the usual operation manual and also the driver CD, which is now compatible with Windows 10. Comes with the whole upgrade thing that they're going for. Looking at the headset itself, the SADES Night Plus is a hefty piece of equipment considering its $65.99 price. On the outside, the SADES Night Plus is no different from its predecessor, the Night. Since I've never covered the Night before, we'll be going over how this thing looks. Taking a look at how the Night was designed overall, you can see that it was made for a more competitive kind of crowd. The Night not only has lights all over the exterior of the ear area, but also on the headband as well. This is the first time I've seen something like this from a headset, since most tend to focus lights only on very small parts. So that was really interesting to me. These lights, combined with that whole tech aesthetic feel that they're going for, with the addition of various geometric lines and these grill looking things on the side, make the headset look pretty sweet, and obviously would make it look pretty cool in a professional gaming kind of setting. Something that game enthusiasts might be looking for in their gaming rig. Apart from that, the Night Plus is also pretty flexible. The headband can be twisted quite a bit, and the ear cups are made to move around as well, so you can easily adapt it to the shape of your head. Additionally, the cushions at the top and also the ear cups of this headset are really soft. Softer than the Spelonda, I'd say, which makes it easy for it to mold to the sides of your head. This softness can be off-putting to some people, but to me it was quite comfortable. Despite these design choices that have given me a high level of comfort though, I did find myself getting a headache after a few hours of use, but it was nothing several minutes of rest couldn't fix. Another thing to note, while the Night Plus doesn't cling to the head as well as other competitors do as usual from the SADES brand, the Night Plus does do better than other SADES headsets that I've tested in the past. So it's definitely an upgrade from those ones that I've covered. Speaking of comparisons to previous SADES headsets, one of the major differences in the Night Plus is that SADES has finally done away with the infamous braided cable and instead has opted for one that has a plastic coating covered with some reinforced clear plastic on top. I warmly welcome this change because their braided cables in the past have given me and other users problems, especially with tangling, and it didn't really offer that great of protection. This, however, has done a splendid job so far. It hasn't been tangling all that much, and it seems to be a lot sturdier as well. So great job to SADES for that. Now let's get to the sound. I'd say the Night Plus performs just as well as the Spillon, but seems to have more oomph when it comes to the lows, and the virtual surround sound performed as well as usual. It was really enjoyable using this while playing Overwatch, and it did enhance the superb sound design from the game. It was pretty awesome going around playing as Lucio and other characters. Now that I think about it, I mostly play Lucio though. But I digress. As usual for most headsets, I wouldn't recommend this for music listening since a lot of details do get drowned out. But that's really just the audio file in me talking. I think most casual listeners will not find much problem with this headset. It's really not that bad. Now here's a quick sound test of the microphone.
This is a microphone test of the SADES Night Plus. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a microphone test of the SADES Night Plus. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
The microphone, I'd say, is pretty disappointing for the price, as I see very little improvement over the Spillon, and I know for a fact that there are cheaper options out there that have a better microphone than this. While the flexibility of the microphone allows you to place it directly in front of your mouth so it's easier to project into it, I found that even with that, the clarity of my voice wasn't all too great. Don't get me wrong, it's still possible to understand what I'm saying, it's just that at this price range, I'd expect the sound to be more natural and less boxy. And that brings us to our conclusion. As a person who places more value on the sound and microphone, I personally would not pay $65.99 for this product. However, for those of you who'd like a balance between sound, looks, and comfort, I'd say the Night Plus isn't too bad of an option. Having this headset allows people to quickly recognize that you are indeed a gamer, and that you take gaming pretty seriously, and they'd be judging that based on how badass this thing looks. And in terms of game performance, the headset and its virtual surround sound do pretty well, even if the microphone isn't all too great. Its overall build is also sturdy and largely comfortable. It's not for me, but it definitely could be for you. So anyway guys, I hope you found this video useful and informative. Do leave a comment down below telling me whether you would buy this product or not, and also if you managed to catch the special deal that I mentioned earlier on in this video. As always, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below as well, and the community and I will do our best to answer them for you. Leave a like if you like the video, leave a dislike if you didn't. Make sure to tell me why you didn't like this video and I'll see if I can make any improvements. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a pleasant day. And if you managed to catch that special deal that I mentioned earlier on in this video, earlier on this video, can't speak. I do have to note that although that took half an hour of recording, I hope I did it properly.